Yo, what's good, YouTube? Let's make this one pretty quick. I hope everybody enjoyed their holidays. A couple more holidays still. I was off last week, and the week before that, had a couple things come up, and then obviously there's Christmas, the Christmas holiday. If you guys celebrate, Merry Christmas to you. If you celebrate it, if you don't, then Happy Holidays. We got New Year's coming up too. But anywho, the video topic today is a pretty good topic that I've been thinking about here a lot lately. And the video topic is the three artists that I think have really influenced music and the current state of music based off of just my generation of listening to music and what I think. So first off, I'll go through I'll go through the first one that I think has like one of the biggest. I'll name all three, and I'll go through why I think all three of these are like one of the bigger ones that have influenced. I think we got to put Chief Keef up there as one of the major influences, as one of the newer artists. Then I think you need to put Soldier Boy in there, and I think you need to put Wiz Khalifa in there, right? So the reason that I picked those three in particular for very particular reasons. So the reason that I pick, I'll start in the order of what I heard, how I started listening to him. So I picked Soldier Boy as one. Is the reason being is Soldier Boy is one of the first artists that to blow up off of YouTube, off of social media in general. Because I remember back in when I was a lot younger, in like sixth, seventh grade, and everybody was listening to MP3 players and whatnot, the little small little iPods and everything like that before iPhones and things of that nature. And before you were putting music on your phones, you actually have to have two separate items. I don't know if a lot of you guys know that or remember that, but I do. But Soldier Boy went out and put music out on YouTube, on LimeWire and FrostWire, and all these other different free download MP3 download websites. And he would name the song, the name of the song that was the hottest song out at that point in time. So I remember like something like, for example, "Party in the USA," that song. He named Crank That "Party in the USA" .mp3 or whatever and put it out there. So when people would go to look up the hottest, newest song that people were listening to, they would download that and mess around and find download Soldier Boy and start listening to and that's listen to that and be like, oh, I got the wrong song, but I actually like this song. And that's actually how Soldier Boy literally blew up. So on my when I was younger and on MySpace, that's how I found Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy was like almost to the degree like one of the first troll rappers and one of the first rappers to use social media to blow up. He literally is one of the first YouTube rappers or social media rappers to put his stuff out there, troll people with it to a degree, and then blow up and then become famous off of it. I remember being in like sixth and seventh grade and cranking that at the dance and hitting the super soaking that hole and all that other stuff. And that's how Soldier Boy came about, right? So next that we've got on that from that point when I was in about eighth, ninth grade, that started the Taylor Gang era. The all the current like the currency rappers and the Young Roddies and all that genre. I can't remember the other group, but it was Taylor Gang, and then there's another group with Young Roddy and Currency. But either which way, that era kind of started making it more acceptable for rappers to put out their quote unquote drug use into the music. So Wiz Khalifa was one of the first younger major rappers. So by younger, I mean like my age, my generation, rappers to go out there and start rapping about openly smoking weed, doing shrooms or whatever, and just having a good time kicking it. But pretty much he was always taught rapping about smoking, which I think led to people now being feeling really open about rapping about sipping lean, perks, and Xanax, and all this other stuff that you hear in the newer songs nowadays and whatnot. He was one of the first artists in my generation to kind of bring out the quote unquote drug use. I say quote unquote because I really don't think smoking weed is like a drug use thing at all. Nowadays like people doing a lot more than smoking weed. So he made it more socially acceptable to talk about that. I remember plenty of times playing Wiz Khalifa songs in the car with my parents as I'm riding, and I got the little aux cord plugged up, or the little tape thing that goes in the tape player with the little that goes into your headphone jack. And I sound like I'm old, but this really wasn't that long ago. But I remember playing some of those songs with my parents or other people that were a little bit older than me. I was in the car. I have an older sister, that she would to pick me up, take me back from the school, and take me to different events and whatnot. And she would be listening to the music, and she was older but still young, and she'd be listening to it like that's all he talk about is rapping about smoking and this that and the third. And I remember people questioning like, "Hey, do you smoke?" Because I was listening to this music. You know what I mean? So he was really literally one of the first artists to kind of make it more socially acceptable and okay to put out that you smoked or you'd like to party and have a good time. Like I said, you got Soldier Boy was a social media era. And then the reason I throw Chief Keef in there is because Chief Keef also was the brought kind of took on that drug use and smoking type of era and that vibe and that sound, but also too Chief Keef brought more of that younger because Chief Keef and I are about the same age. I think I probably might be like a year older than him, but he brought that era of drill rap of hardcore street stuff like being really out in the streets and whatnot and bringing that and putting it on paper or putting it on and recording it and putting it in music and it being in a younger generation. So like you got all these younger rappers rapping about running in houses and kicking doors and sliding on the ops and all that stuff. He was like in my generation, in my age group, of one of those people that really put that out there and made it kind of okay to talk about that. He made it okay to talk about sneak dissing people and smoking on such and so op pack and this that and the third. I'm not gonna mention no names because it's disrespectful to the dead, in my opinion. Can't speak on a dead person that's not here to defend themselves, but that type of stuff. So that's why I think those three are kind of like the top like three artists that come to my mind that when I hear these newer artists is like these three artists actually kind of paved the way to making you being for these newer artists that we hear daily to be able to rap about that. Now another one that I'll throw in there as a fourth, like a caveat, is to that kind of pays homage to like the troll rappers to be or made it okay to be a troll rapper. Is honestly like a Lil B. Lil B's songs like was just like off the wall. Like all his songs just swag, 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 swag. Like I think he was one of those artists that made it okay for troll rappers to kind of be a thing and it to be and them to be taken serious. To be honest with you, so like I said, you got Soldier Boy, you got Wiz Khalifa, and you got Chief Keef as my top three artists that I think really have influenced music that we currently hear today. Not as far as the sound and the cadence and how people rap so much, but just the overall substance of the songs that we hear today. Those three in my opinion are the pillars of light that brought that out there. But I definitely have to give it to the as far as all three of those. I definitely have to give it to Soldier Boy, to be honest with you, because Soldier Boy made it okay for you to put your music on the internet, put it out there on social media, and see that you can blow up and get famous off of that, rather than selling it from out of the trunk of your car or knowing somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody to get you in the studio with somebody, that type of deal. Soulja Boy literally started with a laptop, making his own little beats, making his own songs, putting it all together, putting it out there, and distributing it, putting it out there himself, and blowing up and getting famous off of it. Soulja Boy is literally the out of my age group, probably several generations, has was the only one that had made that okay, made it even possible for artists. So now you got artists that'll make music, get YouTube beats, put it on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, and all this other stuff on their own, and happen to just blow up, and then they're already getting paid because they're already set up and got everything put together. So I got to give it off to hats off to those three because I really think those are the three that influenced music, the music genre that we hear today. Now, I'm not saying they're the only ones that have done this by any means. And then I think in every generation, you have a handful of artists that keep moving each generation to give them more and more of an influence. So whoever Chief Keef was inspired by, or Wiz was inspired by, or Soldier Boy was inspired by, those artists help cultivate and make them into the artists that they are. Then those artists that I just mentioned help make and cultivate the artists that we hear nowadays. And so now the ones that we hear currently are going to there's going to be a top three that motivate and kind of make the news genre for the next generation. So it's kind of cool watching it happen. And as I get older and I continue to listen to music, I can see how it grows and how it changes, but I can still hear the influences of previous artists that I grew up listening to versus the artists that people are now listening to when I was the age when I really got into music. So I want to keep this one short and sweet, man. I hope you guys continue to enjoy your holidays. I know it's a long string of couple holidays going on. Hope you guys are staying safe, having a good time. Enjoy your New Year's. Happy New Year's. And we'll be back to it next week. Peace. I'm out. Oh, follow all my social media. If I got it, you'll find me. If I don't, you won't. So Milan makes beats on everything. If you like the video, drop a like. If you dislike it, dislike it. Either which way, just interact with the video, and so the algorithm works in my favor, man. Peace. I'm out.